Well, alright everybody, so we are back with TEW 9, the War of Immortals save, and as you can see, we've finally made it. We have made it to WrestleMania, our biggest show of the year. And I also have some bad news. So, while I was simulating through, um, and we were starting off the show, Tully Blanchard has decided to show up wasted. He was drunk. So, that has now messed up War Games. And Tully has been kicked out of War Games. He's been sent home. And he has been replaced. We have replaced Tully Blanchard. So, I will be back after I am done booking the show and we will get everything started. Everybody, so we are back. The card is booked. We are at 220 minutes out of the 262 that we got. So let's start everything off with our 25-man Battle Royal pre-show match. In a decent pre-show match, Don Morocco won a Battle Royal in 12 minutes and 22 seconds by last eliminating King Kong Bundy. So the crowd is expectant and simmering. The wrestling rating got a 60, the crowd rating got a 53, and the segment got a 77. King Kong Bundy was really off his game. The commentary quality lifted the match, and Ted DiBiase benefited from having a hot new move. So let's head into our next pre-show match, which is a tag team match between Power and Glory and the Fabulous Freebirds. In a pre-show bout that had decent wrestling but little heat, the Fabulous Freebirds defeated Power and Glory in 12 minutes and 22 seconds when Michael Hayes pinned Paul Roma with a DDT. Terry Gordy carried the match in terms of in-ring work. The wrestling rating was a 58. The crowd rating was a 38. And the segment got a 61. Paul Roma had a 55. Hercules had a 51. Terry Gordy had a 75. And Michael P.S. Hayes had a 49. Hercules and Paul Roma got a tag team specialist bonus. Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy showed excellent chemistry teaming together. The commentary lifted the quality. The color commentary gave the match a boost. And Terry Gordy is getting better at his gimmicks. So let's head in to our first segment of the night, which got an 89. In a great 8-minute interview, we saw Jesse Ventura and Vince McMahon cut some promos. The crowd is expectant and simmering. It advanced all our storylines. Jesse Ventura did a masterful job improvising interactions with the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all. Tonight, the night where legends are born and rivalries come to head. Jesse, tonight's card is absolutely stacked. This could be the most thrilling WrestleMania of all time. You got that right, McMahon. We've got titles on the line, personal scores to settle, and some of the most brutal matches in WWFC history. I don't think anyone's walking out of here without a scar or two. Let's kick things off with a match that's going to be a fight to the finish. Lex Luger takes on Mr. Perfect for the Intercontinental Championship. Luger's been on fire, but Mr. Perfect doesn't intend to give up that title without a fight. And speaking of titles, we've got the Honky Tonk Man putting his WWFC World Television Championship on the line against Big Boss Man. And get this, there's a mystery challenger in the mix. Who's it going to be, McMahon? This one could be a real curveball. Oh, but that's not all. We've got a match that defines brutality itself. The War Games. The New Horsemen, led by Bobby Heenan, will step into the cage against the Legion of Doom, Hacksaw Duggan, and their enforcer, Sergeant Slaughter. Jesse, I can't even imagine what's going to happen when those two teams collide. War Games is where legends are made, McMahon. And speaking of legends, we're going to see Hulk Hogan inside the steel cage tonight against Paul Orndorff. This is as personal as it gets, and there's nowhere to hide in that cage. Absolutely, Jesse. And we've got some explosive tag team actions as the Killer Bees take on the Midnight Express in a clash between two teams that want to prove who's the best in the WWFC. And don't forget, the Rougeaus will face off against Strikeforce. Speed, power, and skill are all going to be on display on that one. And then we got two tough guys going at it. Butch Reed and Ronnie Garvin are going to tear each other apart. And folks, two of the biggest men in this business are going head to head. Andre the Giant against Big John Studd. Andre says he's the only giant, but Studd wants to prove him wrong tonight at WrestleMania. And then, Vince, it's time for the main event everyone's been waiting for. The Macho King Randy Savage defends his WWFC World Heavyweight Championship against Jake the Snake Roberts. Roberts earned this shot, and tonight we find out if he's going to if he's got what it takes to dethrone Savage. History is going to be made tonight, Jesse. The energy is electric, and the WWFC universe is ready for an unforgettable night. Buckle up, folks. This is WrestleMania, and it all begins right now. So it's a great way to kick off the show with a nice 89 to open everything up. So let's head into our first match, which is the Fabulous Rougeaus defending the tag team titles against Strikeforce. In a decent match, the Fabulous Rougeau brothers defeat Strikeforce in 10 minutes and 30 seconds when Jacques pinned Rick Martel with La Bombe de la Rougeau. The Fabulous Rougeaus make defense number 2 of the WWFC tag team titles. The crowd heat is simmering. The wrestling rating is a 62. The crowd rating was a 52, and the segment rating was a 67. Raymond had a 50. Jacques had a 70. Rick Martel had a 70. Tito had a 59. The Rougeau and Strikeforce lost heat. Jacques and Raymond showed excellent chemistry. Tito and Rick showed excellent chemistry. Tito and Rick also got a tag team specialist bonus. The commentary quality lifted the match, and the color commentary gave the match a boost. So, let's head in to our next promo, which is just an interview of Piper and Warrior showing up, just waving to the crowd. So the crowd is hot and rising. Piper clearly enjoyed the freedom to go off script. Piper benefited from having a hot catchphrase. The angle got the crowd hotter, and the segment was at 91, so I didn't really have anything for Piper or Warrior to do tonight. I had thought about putting Rick Rude against Roddy Piper, but I chose instead to put him against Harley Race. I'm hoping that that's not a bad decision. So let's head into our next match, which is the Natural Butch Reed taking on Rugged Ronnie Garvin. In a poor match, Rugged Ronnie Garvin defeated the Natural Butch Reed in 10:06 by pinfall. The crowd is hot. The wrestling rating was a 52. The crowd rating was a 46, and the segment got a 54. The Natural Butch Reed had an in-ring performance of 56. Rugged Ronnie Garvin had a 48. It advanced the storyline and also ended it. We're totally done with this. Jesse and Vince have a pretty good chemistry when calling matches. The commentary quality lifted it. The color commentary lifted it. And then the Natural Butch Reed and Colonel Robert Parker are a good pairing, and they play off each other really well. So let's head in to our next promo, which is just Hulk Hogan hyping up his upcoming cage match tonight. And it got an 88. Hey, that's fantastic. So in a great 8-minute interview that took place backstage, we saw Mean Gene cut a promo, and Hogan worked the crowd. The crowd is now white hot, and the angle got the crowd hotter. Well, let me tell you something, brother. Tonight, here at WrestleMania, it's me and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff locked inside a steel cage. There ain't going to be any running, no hiding, nowhere for Orndorff to slither off to. This is the moment I've been waiting for, the moment all my Hulkamaniacs have been waiting for. Orndorff, you thought you could turn your back on me. You thought you could take shortcuts and cheap shots. Well, tonight, there's no escape from the 24-inch pythons, brother. Inside that cage, it's just you and me, and there's only one way out, dude. To climb over the top, climb up over the top, or walk right out the door. If you can even stand when I'm through with you. You wanted a war, Orndorff, and now you got one tonight. All the Hulkamaniacs are right here with me, and they're ready to see the power of Hulkamania tear you apart. So say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and get ready, because when that cage door slams shut, it's not just a match, it's a reckoning. What you gonna do, Orndorff, when Hulkamania runs wild on you in the cage? So, a pretty good promo. That's actually one of the best promos we've gotten from Hogan. So, let's head into our next match. And about that had good heat and decent wrestling. Andre the Giant defeated Big John Studd by pinfall. The crowd is very hot. The wrestling rating was a 62. The crowd rating was a 75, and the segment got a 67. Andre had an in-ring performance of 65. Big John Studd had a 59. It advanced the Andre and Big John Studd storyline. The color commentary lifted the match. The color commentary lifted it too, and Teddy Long did good work at ringside. So, let's head off to our next promo from Mr. Perfect. Got an 81, so not too bad. Lex Luger, the so-called total package. Well, Lex, tonight you're going to find out what it really means to be out of your league. You think just because you got muscles and some swagger, you can step into the ring with Mr. Perfect and walk out with my Intercontinental Championship? Let me give you a reality check, Luger. There's only one perfect man in this business, and you're looking at him. See, you might have some power, but power alone doesn't win championships. Finesse, precision, skill, intelligence, those are the qualities of a true champion. And every single one of them belong to me. Tonight, I'm not just defending this title, I'm proving why there's no one better than Mr. Perfect. You're in way over your head, Luger, and by the time the bell rings, you're gonna wish you never challenged me. I've seen 100 guys like you come and go, but there's only one Mr. Perfect, and that's the way it always will be. So, Lex, bring everything you got, but understand this: when it's all said and done, you're just another name on my list, and I'll still be standing here absolutely perfect. So, Mr. Perfect came across well. He enjoyed the freedom to go off script. The commentary quality lifted the segment, and Mr. Perfect benefited from having a hot catchphrase. So let's head into our next match, which is the Midnight Express versus the Killer Bees. Not too bad. In a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat, the Midnight Express defeated the Killer Bees in 11 minutes and 57 seconds when Bobby Eaton pinned Jim Brunzell with an Alabama jam. Bobby Eaton carried the match in terms of in-ring work. The crowd was very hot. The wrestling rating got a 51. The crowd rating was a 39. And the segment got a 60. So Stan Lane had a 48. Bobby Eaton had a 67. Jim Brunzell had a 48. Brian Blair had a 42. It lost us some heat in the storyline. Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Brian Blair and Jim Brunzell got a tag team specialist bonus. The commentary quality lifted the match, and the color commentary gave the match a boost. So the one thing I was really hoping for was that Jim Cornette would be here, but unfortunately he's doing his duties as the booker of Ring of Honor. So that kind of messed everything up on me. So let's head in to our next promo from Rick Rude. And a very good 8-minute interview that took place backstage. We saw Mean Gene cut a promo, Rick Rude cut a promo. And then Harley Race was off, and I did the change so we didn't get penalized for having a heel versus heel promo, or a heel versus heel match. You see, Harley, you spent your entire career proclaiming yourself as the king of professional wrestling, But what have you really accomplished, huh? You've been living in the past, trying to remind everybody who you used to be, but guess what? No one cares about your history anymore, race. The only thing people care about now is the future, and that future, my friend, is a ravishing Rick Rude. You want to talk about respect? You want to talk about legacies? Well, let me tell you something, Harley. I've got the looks, I've got the talent, and I've got the body that makes every single man in this locker room jealous, and every woman in the world dream about me. I spent my entire career proving I'm the most ravishing thing to ever grace this business. Tonight, Harley, you're going to see what happens when a washed up has been like you faces a real champion like me. I'm going to take you out, teach you a lesson in humility, and show you why the king doesn't belong in the ring with the ravishing one. You can keep your crown, Harley, because after WrestleMania, you won't even be able to hold your head up. So the segment got a 85, and the crowd heat is very hot. It advanced the storyline, and Gene Okerlund clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script and performed well. So let's head into the next match, which is Boss Man versus Honky Tonk Man versus the mystery opponent for the WWFC Television Championship. In a decent match, the Honky Tonk Man defeated Big Boss Man and Pedro Morales in 11 minutes and 28 seconds. When the Honky Tonk Man pinned Big Boss Man with the shake, rattle, and roll. The Honky Tonk Man makes defense number 6 of his WWFC World Television title. The Honky Tonk Man was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everybody else's in-ring performance. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating got a 66. The crowd rating got a 67. The segment got a 69. Big Boss Man had a 68. Honky Tonk Man had a 58. Pedro had a 70. It advanced the Boss Man Beefcake Honky Tonk Man storyline. So Pedro's here because Beefcake decided to show up at our last Saturday night's main event on hard drugs, so I sent him to rehab. So he's gone for like 230 something days. The commentary quality lifted the match. The color commentary gave the match a boost. Slick did good work at ringside, and Jimmy Hart did some good work at ringside. So let's head in to our next promo from Jake. And a great 8-minute interview that took place backstage. We saw Jake the Snake cut a promo. Randy Savage, Macho King, the time has come. All your bravado, all your arrogance, all that noise you've been making, it all comes crashing down tonight. You see, every king, every so-called champion eventually faces his reckoning. And tonight, Savage, that reckoning is me. You've been walking around here clutching that title like it's your shield, like it's going to save you, but a championship doesn't make you untouchable, Savage. No. It just makes you a target, and you've had a bullseye on your back for a long, long time. Tonight, you'll finally feel the bite. I don't want your throne, Savage. I don't want your crown. But that WWFC World Heavyweight Championship, that's what I came for. And if you think I'm going to let you slip away tonight, think again. I've waited too long, Savage. Every man meets his fate. And tonight, yours is staring you right in the eyes. So bring everything you got, because tonight your reign ends. I am the darkness at the edge of your spotlight, the shadow waiting to swallow you whole. The time is coming tonight. The snake takes his prize. So let's head in to our next match. Oh, and a superb match. Hulk Hogan defeated Paul Orndorff in 12 minutes and 4 seconds by pinfall with the big boot leg drop. Although I don't remember that being right. Yeah, it was a cage classic, so he's supposed to escape the cage. So the crowd is very hot. The wrestling rating was an 80. The crowd rating was a 79. The segment got a 90. Hulk Hogan had an in-ring performance of 96. Paul Orndorff had an in-ring performance of 63. They have they have great chemistry, and it showed in their performances. So that's really fantastic. It also ended their storyline because Hogan is leaving to film a movie on June 30th. Is his last date, which I think lines up with our King of the Ring pay-per-view. So we'll see what I have planned for Hogan then. I'm really not too sure, honestly. So let's head into the next segment, which is the Horsemen talking about the upcoming pay-per-view or the upcoming War Games match. That's not too bad. And it's just a video package about everything. War Games. The name alone strikes fear into the hearts of every man in this company. But let me tell you something, boys. The fear doesn't belong to us. The fear belongs to you. The LOD, Duggan, and Slaughter. You've made a huge mistake. You crossed the line, and tonight in that cage, when blood starts to spill, you'll realize you're not facing just any group of men. You're facing the Horsemen. See, we didn't ask for this match. You all did. You came running thinking you could take us down, but the thing is, you don't know what it means to be a horseman. We don't just fight for the thrill of it. We fight because we own this business. Every move we make, every breath we take, we dominate this industry. And tonight, in that War Games match, we'll show you just how powerful we are. Every single one of you, LOD, Duggan, Slaughter, you stepped into the ring with the wrong guys. You're in over your heads. You may think you got the numbers, but you don't have the heart. You don't have the bloodline. We're the Horsemen. We're the best. And tonight, we'll show the world why no one can touch us. When the bell rings and the cage door locks, you'll be trapped in our world. A world where pain, submissions, and humiliations are the only way out. We've been in wars before, boys. We've bled, we've suffered, and we're here. We've come out on top. And tonight, we're not just going to win. We're going to break you. The Horsemen are taking over, and when this War Games is over, we'll be the ones standing tall. You'll be broken, battered, and begging for mercy. But mercy won't be coming. Because there is no mercy when you face the Horsemen. So Barry Windham performed poorly in the match. Bobby Heenan clearly enjoyed the freedom of going off script, and the commentary quality lifted the segment. So the segment got a 74, so that's not too bad. So let's head into, I think it is Rick Rude versus Harley Race. It is. In a wild brawl that had great wrestling and good heat, Rick Rude defeated Harley Race in 13:33 by pinfall with a rude awakening. The crowd is very hot. The wrestling rating was an 83. The crowd rating was a 73. The segment was a 75. Rick Rude had an in-ring performance of 80. Harley Race had an 86. Rick Rude put up a little bit of a stink about putting Harley over, so I had to change everything. So I think after the show we'll check out his popularity and see why he didn't want to put Harley over. But Jesse and Vince have pretty good chemistry when calling matches together. So let's head off to the next segment, which got an 82. Macho King didn't do well without a script to follow. I forgot to put him there too. Oh yeah, Jake Roberts, you pushed me to the edge, man. You tried every dirty trick in the book. You made it personal, and you've made it clear this is about more than just the World Heavyweight Championship. But listen here, Jake. I hope you're ready, because you've reached the end of the road, yeah. You got no more tricks left, Jake. You tried to slither your way into my mind, and maybe, just maybe, you got a couple of shots in, but not anymore. Tonight, I'm gonna take all that snake venom and I'm gonna shove it right down your throat. Yeah, you tried playing mind games with the Macho King, but now the only game we're playing is to see who's still standing after it's all over. And trust me, Jake, it's not gonna be you. No, you've twisted people's minds. You've taken things too far, and now you're gonna feel the wrath of the Macho Man. Yeah, this is my world. And tonight, I'm going to take back what's rightfully mine. Oh, yeah. Jake, you tried to break me, you tried to break me down, but now it's time for the fall. I'm walking out as the WWFC World Heavyweight Champion still. Ooh, yeah, dig it. So, the crowd is very hot. The segment got an 82. Gene Okerlund improvised well throughout the segment. I just forgot to script everything, but hey, it is what it is. So let's head into War Games. Ah, really? Man, I can't believe that. In a good match, Arn Anderson, Ken Shamrock, the replacement. It's technically the new Horseman. Arn, Sid, and Barry with Ken Shamrock defeated Hacksaw, Sergeant Slaughter, and the Road Warriors in 26-42 when Arn Anderson submitted Road Warrior Animal. The crowd is hot and cooling. The wrestling rating was a 76. The crowd rating was a 70. And the segment got a 38. Man, I can't believe that. Sergeant Slaughter had an in-ring performance of 70. Hacksaw had a 71. Road Warrior Animal had an 80. Hawk had a 76. Barry Windham had a 71. Sid had an 89. Shamrock had a 74. And Arn had a 78. So the commentary lifted it. The color commentary lifted it. Animal had good chemistry with Ellering. Bobby Heenan did good work at ringside. The type of match is very inappropriate for this audience and killed the match. Man, that's horrible. Okay, so let's head into the um, video for Perfect and Luger. So I got a 65, so that's not too bad. It's going to get the crowd back up. So next is Luger versus Perfect. And it got an 82. At least we're getting back into it. In a good wild brawl, Mr. Perfect defeated Lex Luger in 13-11 by pinfall with the Perfect Plex. Mr. Perfect makes defense number 4 of his WWFC Intercontinental title. The crowd heat at the end is hot. The wrestling rating is a 75. The crowd rating is a 73. The segment got an 82. Mr. Perfect had a 73. Lex Luger had a 77. It advanced our Perfect Luger storyline, and then Jesse Ventura and Vince McMahon have pretty good chemistry when calling matches together. So the next segment is just another video for Savage and Jake. It's got a 75, so that's not too bad. The angle was good too, so that's awesome. Now the crowd's white hot. So let's head into our main event of WrestleMania 1. In a bout that had good heat and good wrestling, the Macho King Randy Savage defeated Jake the Snake Roberts in 20 minutes and 1 second by pinfall with the flying elbow drop. The Macho King made defense number 4 of his WWFC World Heavyweight title. The crowd is very hot. The wrestling rating was in 77. The crowd rating was at 85, and the segment got an 89. The Macho King had an 87. Jake had a 68. It advanced the Macho King and Jake storyline. Jake's still injured. He's going to be injured. That's why he didn't win. Had he not got injured, he was actually going to win the title. But it is what it is. Jesse Ventura and Vince McMahon have pretty good chemistry when calling matches, and this match got the crowd buzzing. So let's check out our final score for the night. Hey, we got an 88. That's awesome. This show increased our popularity in 9 regions. We would have gained popularity in 7 Canadian regions, but the growth was restricted because the only place that would hire me or would take it was Shaw. And they only have a medium, so that was just horrible. So let's address the locker room. So Savage did a great job. Hogan did an excellent job. Sid had a great performance in that match. Um, And I'll just point out Pedro. So he is very happy, pleased. Okay. The financial report we made 500 or $5,831,686. We didn't get any broadcast. Oh, that's right. It's a pay-per-view revenue. um, okay, so let's check out the popularity. We went to 83 in the Great Lakes, 80 in the Mid-Atlantic, 81 in Mid-South and Midwest, 81 in the Southeast, 82 in the Southwest, 68 in Puerto Rico, and 74 in Hawaii. So that's not too bad. So let's check out the media scrum. Tully Blanchard appeared turned up wasted. Um, I'm just gonna say he won't do it again. The locker room morale is said to be the at best average. Do you like addressing this? Um, no, I think it's pretty great. How concerned are you with the off night at George Steele? Everyone has an off night. Saw Arn Anderson. Everyone has an off night. Bobby Heenan is noticeably extremely happy. How much credit? I'm glad he's having a good time. Hulk Hogan is heading off to make a movie. Does his absence represent a significant issue? It's a great opportunity. Backstage sources revealed that two people in particular, Jacques and Raymond, have been causing trouble. And I don't. Road Warriors said to be happy. Um, I'm glad he's having a good time. Okay, so that's it. So we'll just deal with the upsetness of Jacques and Raymond. Although I don't know why it's saying that they're causing rifts or anything because they're not. They're actually been really great. I mean, I don't have the the Bulldogs, so I mean, I don't really have to worry about that. So we're just gonna run through everything, check out a few rosters, see anything has changed, champions. Okay, let's check this out. Bossman's fully fit. He's gone. The buy rate is a 6.21, which is 3,108,459 buys, and that's the viewers. Okay, so um, it's like Bruno's going all over the place. Now let's check out worldwide. Uh, well, 74. That's not bad. Eddie beat Perry in the main event, so that's pretty good. Let's check out WWF Backlash. See what that's all about. So Davey Boy Smith defeated Kane to retain the WWFA Intercontinental title for 82. Mankind beat Lita. Big Show defeated Rob Van Dam. Triple H and Mystico defeated the Ministry, The Undertaker, and Christian. Al Snow, The Rock, and Owen Hart defeated China and the Sharpshooters, who is Shocker and Bob Sapp. That's not bad. Dan Severn defeated Matt Hardy by DQ. Not too bad. Okay, so let's go through. Let's check out AEW. Their titles. So Cody Rhodes is the All Atlantic champion. He's been that for 33 days. The tag team is SCU. TBS is Chris Statlander. TNT is Jake Hager. The world champion is still Jon Moxley, who's been the champion for 103 days. The trios is Dustin Rhodes and the Young Bucks. The world's women's champion is Casey Catanzaro. And the FTW champion is Shawn Spears. Hell yeah. Double or Nothing. Let's check out their Double or Nothing. It wasn't too meh. Jake Hager defeated Hangman Page to retain the title. So that was their main event. ECW Reborn, I think. Oh, whoops. That wasn't what I wanted, but they haven't really signed anybody either. Well, let's check out their champion, their titles. Bobby Lashley is still the champion here. Now, the original ECW, this is what I want to check out. So they haven't really done much. Let's check out the recent results. Living Dangerously was their last pay-per-view. So the Sandman defeated Steve Corino to retain the ECW World Heavyweight title. Sabu defeated Yoshihiro Tajiri and Lance Storm for 79. So that was the best match on the card. So that's not bad. Their titles, ECW champion is still the Sandman. World Tag Team titles are Public Enemy. Let's see how they're doing. Now their highest is 65 when they beat the FBI. Man, I love the FBI. Then the ECW World Television Champion is C.W. Anderson, who had a 75 with Masato Tanaka and Louis Spicolli. That's really pretty great. Then we will check out Impact. The Digital Media Champion is Mario Pecora. The Impact Grand Champion is Desmond Xavier. The Knockouts Champion is Brooke Tessmacher. The World Champion is Spud. He beat Sami Callihan for the title. The World Tag Team Champions is Decay. The X Division Champion is Garza Jr. Let's see here. Lucha Underground. What do they got going on here? I haven't checked this one at all. Brian Cage is the Aztec Medallion. Gift of Gods is Prince Puma. The Heavyweight is Pentagon Jr. And the Trios Tag Team is Vacant. NWA. Their titles, the Crockett Cup, hasn't been held yet. The Midwest Heavyweight Champion is Ric Flair. The World's Heavyweight Champion is Dusty Rhodes. And Ivan and Nikita Koloff are the Tag Team Champions. So not too horrible, not too horrible. NXT. Akuma is still the NXT Champion. Nobody's won that. The North American is still Johnny Gargano. The NXT Tag Team is Daniel Garcia and Jonah Brock still. NXT UK Women's Champion is Ruby Riott. Nikki Cross is the Women's Champion, who beat Io Shirai for it. The NXT Women's Tag Team is vacant, and the United Kingdom is still Matt Riddle. I guess we could look up 2.0 and see what's up here. The NXT 2.0 champion is Santos Escobar. The North American is Cameron Grimes. The tag team is Brooks and Jensen. Brooks and Jensen and Briggs. The women's champion is Mandy Rose. You know what? I haven't checked out OVW at all either. Rosie's the World Heavyweight Champion. The Southern Tag Team is Maven and the Boogeyman. The television champion is Chris Nowitzki. And then the women's champion is vacant. Ring of Honor. Let's check this out. So the Fabulous Moolah is the Women of Honor. The World Heavyweight is Paul London. The six-man tag team is Spanky and the Young Bucks. The World Tag Team are the Wolves. And the World Television Champion is Kyle O'Reilly. So that's not too bad. TNA. The Knockouts Champion is Gail Kim, who beat ODB after holding the title for 91 days, so we'll check that out. The Television Champion is still Bobo Brazil. The World Heavyweight Champion is Kurt Angle. He's defended the title 4 times. Look at this. Just so impeccable. A 98, too, to retain the title against Brian Pillman. A 99 against Samoa Joe. The World Tag Team Champions are the Motor City Machine Guns, and the X Division Champion is still Frankie Kazarian. WCW NWO. Dean Malenko is still the Cruiserweight Champion, and he's put on heck of matches, too. He beat Hoovy and Chavo at Uncensored, so we'll check that out afterwards. The U.S. Champion is now CM Punk. The World Heavyweight Champion is Goldberg, and the World Tag Team Champions are Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. So let's check out Uncensored. So this is where Punk won. So CM Punk defeated Ricky Morton, Eddie Guerrero, and DDP to win the U.S. title. And Goldberg beat Sting. And the Nitros, like, their shows are okay. Like in 83, that's not bad. Like, Mil Mascaras defeated Eddie Guerrero and Buff Bagwell in 89. Then Scott Steiner and Masahiro Chono defeated DDP and Ricky Morton. And then CM Punk defeated Big Van Vader to retain the title. And then it's just like drop back down. Sting and Blue Demon defeated the Revolution of Bill Goldberg and Dean Malenko. I mean, it is what it is. WCW, let's check this out. The World Heavyweight Champion is Steve Williams. He beat Kevin Sullivan. The World Hardcore is Too Cold Scorpio. The World Tag Team is still vacant. And the World Television Champion is Eddie Gilbert. Like, do they not have any tag teams? Is that why? No? She's like, nobody wants to win the title. So, hey, the Usos are here. Huh. I didn't see that happening. WCCW, we could check that out. The missing link is the World Heavyweight Champion. The Light Heavyweight Champion is Gentleman Chris Adams. The Television Champion is Iceman Parsons. World Six Man is Bubba Dudley, Killer Tim Brooks, and Jack Victory. The WWF, Pedro is still the U.S. Champion. Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas are still the U.S. Tag Team Champions. And Bruno is still the World Heavyweight Champion. So they had the big event. So let's check this out. Bruno defeated Devon to retain the title. Pedro defeated Samoa Joe for the U.S. title. Johnson and Atlas defeated, I think that's Nikita, Nikolai and the Iron Sheik. And then the Dynamite Kid's here. Oh, he's on an exclusive until 2026. Yeah, I can't sign him. So, the WWE, I don't know if they held their WrestleMania yet. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so Brock Lesnar defeated John Cena for the WWE World Heavyweight title. Batista defeated Randy Orton. MVP defeated Dolph Ziggler for the U.S. title. JBL defeated Umaga, Stevie Richards, and Shelton Benjamin. Orlando Jordan and La Resistance defeated Ted DiBiase Jr. in Crime Time. So that's not too bad. So their titles. AJ Lee is still the Divas champion. Royal Rumble is nobody. The tag team is still Eminem. The US is Drew McIntyre now. So MVP must have got hurt after he won the title. And then Brock Lesnar is still the champion. WWE. This one's actually great. I saw this result. It popped up. So Antonio Cesaro defeated Dean Ambrose for the WWE Universal title. Got a 78, so that's not bad. So they put the world title on Cesaro. The Usos defeated the New Day and the Wyatt family to retain the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Kurt Hawkins defeated Elias. Naomi defeated Summer Rae. Fandango and Los Matadores defeated Mustafa Ali and the Miztourage. And then Akam and David Otunga defeated Mojo Rawley and Darren Young by countout. Well, that's not fantastic. And then we are definitely checking this out. So Backlash, which happened, I think the night before. Oh no, the same night. So Sunday, April 14th. So Davey Boy Smith defeated Kane to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Mankind defeated Lita. Big Show defeated RVD. And all of that. So let's check out their titles. So the European champion is the Great Khali, who's only defended the title once, it says. Yeah, against Rikishi at Backlash. The hardcore champion is still Dan Severn. The Intercontinental Champion is Davey Boy Smith. The World Heavyweight Champion is still Steve Austin. And the World Tag Team Champions are the Dudleys, who beat Val Venus and Godfather on an episode of Monday Night Raw. I think it was back here somewhere. There it is. The Dudleys defeated Supply and Demand for the tag team titles. Then the New Generation, they held an In Your House the other day. Yokozuna defeated Marty Jannetty to retain the WWF NG Championship for 66. Mad Dog Vachon defeated Tatanka by disqualification for the Intercontinental title. Bret Hart and Brian James defeated the Minority. Wendy Richter and Kelly defeated Alundra Blaze and Sasha Banks. And that's Well Done defeated Team Million to retain the Intercontinental Tag Team titles. So that's pretty much all of that. So I will see everybody in the next one.